Hello, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. If you'd be so inclined, appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button for us, and if you would also be so inclined as to hit the like button and the notification bell to receive updates of our latest videos that appear on the channel. Quick video here. Just wanted to talk a little bit about the dating game. Not the old TV show, but the real dating game that so many of us go through at different stages of our life, sometimes at more stages of our life than we'd like to have to go through, and sometimes at times that we would prefer not to have to go through. But that's the way life goes with the relationships, is they can be volatile. They can be like a volatile stock that's up and down and up and down. And just when you think that you've made it to the point where you're going to overcome and you're going to find eternal happiness, then life happens and you get stumbled and you end up going right back to start from scratch. And so that's how the relationship game can go when it's going bad. And for those who have it going well, who have it going on, congratulations to you. You are among the few and the proud, so to speak, in winning the relationship battles and the relationship wars, as it were. One of the things I wanted to talk about is the convergence of relationships as they relate to online dating and as they relate to social media. Specifically, I wanted to talk about these relationships, I'm using air quotes by the way, that we find ourselves in with individuals that we have seen photos of, that we've chatted with, and we've built a sort of online relationship that in many cases hasn't yet progressed to the point that it's a face-to-face meeting. And sometimes you get in these relationships and it really is like a volatile stock, and you have highs and you have lows and you're riding the wave, and sometimes you want to get off and sometimes you want to stay on. Sometimes you wonder if you're headed to disaster, if you're headed to self-destruction, or if you're headed to outside inflicted destruction. And as you continue on this volatile roller coaster, you start to wonder, what are the characteristics? What are the patterns of these relationships that we have where things seem to be going well and then they're not going well? Then they're going well again, then they're not going well. And as you deal with these major swings in a relationship, especially with a person that you haven't had a chance to meet in person, you start to wonder, are you being catfished? That's something that jumps into your head. Another thought that jumps in your head is, maybe you're not the first option. Maybe you're the standby option. You're the number 2 option. You're the backup option. And you start to think that even more as you deal with someone who you think things are going well. You don't really necessarily have any obvious indication that things are not going well. But yet you're, to borrow from the baseball analogy that people so often use in dating, you're at first base, you're maybe at second base, but you're struggling to get to third base. Or you're at third base and you're struggling to get home. And you're having a hard time figuring it out. And it happens so often to so many of us, where you start to wonder about the realities of what online dating is all about. You begin to wonder how many of these profiles of people that you've never met are legit people, represent real people. How many of them are fakes? How many of them are fake profiles invented to make the roster of potential mates appear more robust than perhaps what it actually is. How many of them have no actual person that is going to be, that you're going to be of interest to, but rather is someone who is trying to keep you on the hook, who is trying to keep you renewing your membership, renewing your subscription, dangling on that hook, hoping for love, but headed for either an eternal journey on the train of online dating that really leads you to nowhere. And in many cases just takes you in one big circle. You're on the Ferris wheel, seeing the same things over and over and over again. How exciting is it if you see the same thing over and over again? Not very. And when you're in these online dating situations, you start to question yourself. You start to wonder, what am I not doing right? Am I just being stupid in chasing a fantasy, something that doesn't really exist? Is there some shortcoming in me? Perhaps it's in my ability to communicate. Perhaps it's my photos. It could be something in your profile. It could be any number of things that have you on this roller coaster of hot and then cold, and then hot and then cold, and then hot and then cold. Or it could be that you're simply making the wrong choices in potential mates, dooming yourself to an extended period on a roller coaster that's taking you nowhere fast.